Yo, 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 LOLeros. This episode of Latinos Out Loud is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965.
Wow, and if you're a listener of our show, you know that we absolutely love McDonald's.
Love McDonald's, Jamie, love.
Yeah, look, McDonald's was like my fast food crush when I was in grade school, okay?
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I used to scribble like I Heart McDonald's on my notebooks. Yeah, it was a little weird. But look, we love McDonald's for plenty of reasons, right? You know, because like the Big Mac can cure even the grumpiest of moods. When I'm in a bad mood, I'm not gonna lie, I have a Big Mac, all of a sudden, I have a big mood shift. It's like I'm rewarding myself after a long day, and I deserve it.
You do deserve it, Jamie, and I see you. Big Mac equals big mood shift. I see you.
Yeah, we're making breakthroughs today. But today, look, we want to talk about another huge reason why we all love McDonald's. It's because when we're there, the crew members truly make us feel like we're right at home and part of their McDonald's community.
They sure do. Jamie, can I share a quick McDonald's story?
I was hoping you would.
Oh, thanks. I love the anticipation. So, I'm a mom out there in the streets, and we be rolling up in the McDonald's of Spanish Harlem, and I have to give a big shout out to Stephanie, because little man be paying for McDonald's, and, we like to bypass the kiosk, because the kiosk is a little impersonal, and I want them to learn the manners, waiting for food, paying for stuff. So she always loves it when they roll up to the counter and they pay, because, they're looking for somebody eye level, but then she looks down and sees my little people paying for their own Happy Meals, and it's a really cute and endearing moment, and it's also educational. So shout out to everybody in Spaha McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, Jamie?
And look, whether you have that one crew member who always remembers that you like your Big Mac with an extra pickle, or the crew member who always greets you in the drive-thru with a warm smile, or, Anna Stephanie who hooks up you and your kids like Rachel has. We just want to thank you, McDonald's crew members everywhere, for making our McDonald's visits even more special.
Gracias. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast.
Yo 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 yo. That was my salsa yo. What is happening to the yos? The yos are really just going through a transformation. Like they just do their own thing sometimes. Like I try not to give the yos too much like thought. But sometimes it's just, it's crazy what comes out. But hi, yo, what's up, everybody? Yeah, you and you and you and you and you and you and you. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. It's your girl, Rachel La Loca, RLL. I'm here, SOLA, Sola. I'm here again, Sola. It's really sad. I miss my friends. I miss my friends, Jamie and Frank and Jamie. But again, we got to divide and conquer sometimes here at LOL. We some busy mofos, and the show must go on. Literally, the show must go on. And you know who knows a lot about that? Our guest, because he is the musical director of very many shows. I'm talking salseros, French Montana. He's worked with some really great musical icons. Tito Puente Jr. Okay, this guy is everywhere, and he is basically the definition of salsa music. He is working on the International Salsa Museum. Yes, there's going to be an International Salsa Museum. We need it. We actually need a lot more museums, but wow, this is a great start. Because salsa is really a universal music language, has origins in different countries, but it's something that all Latinos get up and dance to, is it not? Like we be at the parranda and the Christmas parties. Like as soon as I hear Gran Combo, so I know like the white people got Mariah Carey for Christmas, but we got Gran Combo for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Because when Gran Combo starts playing, like all of that, like que Okay, the Christmas songs off of the Gran Combo albums are amazing. Y después que la pongan salsa. There's so many. I'm not gonna sing any here, but I'm really, really excited to have had Willy Rodríguez on the Latinos Out Loud podcast. He has become a friend. I went to college with Willie. Yes, we went to Brooklyn College together. So crazy, such a small world. But I'm thrilled to talk to him about his International Salsa Museum endeavor. Really want you guys to hear about this because it goes deeper than just preserving this amazing part of our culture. It has to do with like future generations and really what's happening with the salsa pipeline. It's fascinating. Check out this interview with Willy Rodríguez. Shout out to Zylene for making this happen. Let's go. All right, LOLeros, hear ye, hear ye. Everyone, please, may I have your attention, please? This is the part of the show here on Latinos Out Loud where we interview someone amazing. I say this all the time, but it just so happens that the people that come here are amazing. I would love to give him a really warm introduction. Can we just cue up the orchestra, please? Will the brass section please rise? The strings, percussion, woodwinds. Please, everyone put your hands together for... He's on the board of directors. He's one of the founders. He's an incredible musician, and he is lending a lot of his efforts towards the International Salsa Museum, which we're going to talk about. Please, bienvenidos. Everybody put your hands together for Willy Rodríguez.
Hey, what's that?
Yes. Oh my God.
And the horns are blaring, the moñas are going, the mambo's going, the dancers are doing their thing. Susie Q everywhere.
Susie Q, everybody, Susie Q, everybody. Oh, that was such a great musical performance, entrance. You salsa your way in. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Rachel, for the beautiful intro. Thank you.
Willie, it is my honor. It is truly an honor to welcome you here to the Latinos Out Loud podcast. We've been talking about this for a while. But you know what? The universe has finally brought us together. And I'm just sorry that my co-hosts Frank and Jamie weren't able to make it because everybody talks about you. Your ears must have been ringing because Frank got so much love for you. Let me
likewise. Go ahead. No, likewise. Frank has been trying to get me on the show for a really long time. We've been wanting to link up, but you know, we're all busy people. We're all doing our thing. And it never happened, in person, but here we are. And unfortunately, Frank's not here, but Frank, we love you very much. And so, you know, there'll be another episode. I have to come back.
Of course.
I haven't even ended this one and I have to come back for the second one.
But that's the thing. Once the doors open, ya la puerta está abierta. So come in whenever you want, bring some potato salad, bring some sheet music. I don't know, bring whatever you want, but just come through.
Okay, and some claves.
Casa, tu casa. Now,
Gracias.
We have a lot to talk about. So like we could do all this for a while. I mean, I love everything you're doing. You're such a magical person. Being around you, you kind of feel like you can play an instrument just by standing next to you, you know, like you bring the music out in everyone. And now you're bringing salsa out to everyone via the International Salsa Museum. What, who, where, why, cómo, qué, dime.
It's important. It's important. There's something that's
everything.
Again, thank you very much for introducing me. And I'm just so happy to be a part of this amazing show. I've heard your show before. I love it. It's fantastic. I've seen Yaya on it. I've seen Ellie Jazz on it. I've seen my other friends on it. And I'm just grateful to be part of this platform. And before I even start, what people don't know is that Rachel and I went to Brooklyn College at the same time.
Hey, hey, Brooklyn right here. Yo, this is
Brooklyn College.
Look, I got this when I spoke at the commencement. I gave the keynote at the commencement. Look at this.
Hey, felicidades. Whoa, that's beautiful.
Isn't that so beautiful?
Brooklyn
Shout out to
College.
Brooklyn College. President Anderson doing her thing over there at BC.
Yes.
Yo, let's talk about Brooklyn College after the museum because I want to reminisce with you on air
Okay.
But let's get to the museum because I think that is earth-shattering. That is such big news for Latinos, lovers of salsa, salseros, salseras. Let us know what's
Yeah.
going on with this iconic institution that you're leading. You're leading
Well,
this too.
it's amazing. I would have never thought in my life that I would be a co-founder of the International Salsa Museum. This was never on my bucket list of things to accomplish in my life. But because of my experience and the people that I know within the salsa industry, and not just the salsa industry, but just the music industry as a whole, I've been able to just meet some fantastic people, and the opportunity came about, and here we are. And so how did it happen? Well, one of my co-founders, well, it's three of us, it's three co-founders. It's Manny Tavares, Iliales Reyes, and myself. And so the way that it happened was that Manny thought about this along with a few other people as to where can we get information on salsa music? Where can we find or go to a place that houses all these amazing artifacts of the salsa history? And, you know, as you're looking for on the internet, there really isn't any. I mean, there's galleries out there. There's salsa galleries and there's salsa events that happen all throughout the city, but there's not a specific museum, kind of like the Natural History Museum, kind of like the Grammy Museum, the Rock and Roll Museum, the Country Museum. There's not one for salsa music. Wow. And it's like you ask yourself, like, why isn't there one? And so Manny contacted Lily and Iliales. Manny contacted Iliales, who was working with me at the Valens agency, which is my other organization. And he asked her, hey, do you know somebody that would be interested in starting a salsa museum and that's able to get this off the ground? And she said, I know the perfect person. And that was me, right? So she contacted me. We got on a 3-way call, and I didn't even think about it. It was like within 5 seconds. Actually, I thought about it for 5 seconds. And I immediately said yes. Given everything that's going on in my life with the music industry and with television, because I also work in television, given everything that's going on in that world, once it was mentioned about the Salsa Museum and bringing it to light, I didn't have to think about it. It was like, there's a no-brainer. Like, yes, this needs to happen. It needs to happen for the culture. So that's how it all started.
So we talked about who, we talked about why, we talked about what.
Wait, no, the why. The why, okay, no, didn't mention the why.
Oh, okay.
So the why, okay. There's no salsa museum in the world.
Right.
But at the same time, the biggest question, the biggest why is because this is what I always say. If you lose music within a culture, then there's no culture. Ooh. Or you lose a major piece of the culture, because music, especially for Latinos, when it comes to salsa, like that's our thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's our thing. Sunday night, Sunday morning, your mom, when we were little kids, your mom wakes up and you hear La India, you hear Gran Combo. Even to this very day, we don't have to talk about when we're little, even to this very day, I wake up on Saturday mornings and there's salsa playing everywhere. We grew up with this music, and it really is a big, it's a big identifier of who we are and our culture and our music. Yes. And so that's one, right? That it just plays a big role in our culture, whether you're Puerto Rican, Dominican, Colombian, Chileno, they're from Uruguay, from anywhere in the world, salsa is just amazing. And the entire world has caught on to it, but there's no museum. Second, a lot of our living legends are passing away. I mean, Rafael Itiel from El Gran Combo is in his 90s. Willy Rosario, he's in his 90s as well. Johnny Pacheco passed away, Celia, Tito, all our legends are passing away. And so the rate that our legends are going up to heaven versus the rate of the people that are creating new music, new salsa music, we're creating it at a very slow rate. There should be a lot more Latinos, especially kids, knowing about salsa music, how to play it, how to record it, how to produce it, how to put it out there. So the only way we're gonna serve this genre of music, this piece of music that has that is deep in our DNA. The only way it's going to survive is if we teach our kids not only about the history, but how to play the music,
Right.
how to produce it, how to record it. That's the only way that it's going to survive, in my opinion, for generations to come.
That's so interesting. What a good perspective too. That's interesting that we're not populating that, what's the word I'm looking for? The pipeline. The pipeline
Right.
of the new salseros and salseras just it's not full. So you have
No.
to preserve. We've got to archive what we have and put it on display. Wow, that's a really fascinating and eye-opening piece of information that you're sharing. Okay, so the when and the where. Unless there's more
Ah,
why. Tell me more why, because we could stay on why for a while if you
no,
want.
and there's more. There's more why. There's more why.
Okay,
So
so bring the more why.
That's the music program. But then what about that's music? But what about dance? What about the
Mm,
dancing part? It's music and dance go together, you know.
right.
So that's the other part. Like there's a lot of salsa programs out there, salsa dance programs, but the salsa museum itself, we want to empower the youth. We not only want to teach you how to dance salsa on two, whether it's on two or on one, or whatever style you want to learn how to dance salsa. We don't just want to teach you. We want to empower you. So
Mm,
the dance program that we're looking to create within the Salsa Museum is going to be one where the kids are going to learn how to dance it, be part of actual dance groups, but also at the same time earn their spot and being able to travel all over the world and dancing at all these major salsa congresses around the world.
love that.
That's how we're going to empower our children. Not only will they get to travel the world and be with their crew dancing, but they get to experience the world just like I did when I was I think I was 17 or 18 when I first traveled internationally. And so I want to give the kids that same opportunity, whether you're a dancer or you are a musician, because we're also, with the music program, we're also going to have recording studio. We're going to have bands. We're going to create little bands here and there with the kids and teenagers, and they also will be able to travel. Our mission is to preserve the past, teach the present, and influence the future.
Y
That's
después
it.
que le pongan salsa.
Exacto.
Que le pongan salsa. So, Willie,
Dime.
where is the International Salsa Museum?
It's not open yet. So,
Okay.
because it's not open, right now we're in the process of raising funds for the museum, but we are aiming to get the Kingsbridge Armory.
Oh,
That's the location that we would love to have the
in the
Salsa Museum in.
Bronx, of
And
course.
it belongs in the Bronx. It belongs in the Bronx.
Course.
And
Yes.
what big enough space? The Kingsbridge Armory is so iconic, but it's so iconic, but at the same time, ever since I was a little kid, I've never seen that building open. We're talking about 5 acres worth of space, thousands and thousands of square footage that is just sitting there. And that's the location we feel that would be the perfect location for this International Salsa Museum.
What is it going to take for us to get there? What could we do? What are we going to do now?
I'll tell you this: we need the support from our peoples. We need support. That looks in various forms. 1, donations. 2, contacting our local politicians within the Bronx, within that district, Pierina Sanchez, Vanessa Gibson, and letting them know that we want the Salsa Museum to be at the Kingsbridge Armory.
Okay.
I'll tell you this: within this past summer, we did a survey around the area, in the Kingsbridge area, and within 2 months, we were able to get over 10,000 signatures from the locals supporting the International Salsa Museum. But that's just the locals. We want people from all over the city to contact Pierina Sanchez and Vanessa Gibson and let them know that they support the International Salsa Museum and the mission. Because this is way bigger than us. And I can't stress that enough. This is way bigger than us.
This is
So,
preserving a piece of our culture, right?
a major piece of our culture.
This is making sure that the future generations know as much as we do about salsa, its art form, where it comes from, the roots. Look, I
Mm-hmm.
took music classes in Brooklyn College. Shout out to the Puerto Rican and Latino Studies Department. Maybe this is the segue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really appreciate my education from Brooklyn College because I learned a lot about my roots, about the culture, about even the music. I really didn't understand like what impact the Tainos had, the slaves from Africa and music and why merengue sounds like it sounds like today and
Mm-hmm.
salsa, learning about bomba and plena and just, call and response and where that music originated from, the struggles our people faced and how music was like their salvation and got
Yeah,
them through the day. I gotta share this because I'm a little nerdy with
please.
like just statistics and info that is like mind-boggling. I read something on Instagram. I got,
Uh-huh.
I got sucked
Okay.
in the hole of Instagram, and
Uh-huh.
I read something that like the during the slave trade and in their passages that African women used to braid their hair and through the braids would be giving each other signals through the braids, even as
Yes.
far as putting maps together on escape routes through the braids of their hair. Oh
Yes.
my God. Now,
Yes.
music. I am not trying to compare and correlate music with braids, but there are messages within the music that also tell the struggle of our people, the journey of our
Mm-hmm.
people. Can you add some color to that before we talk about Brooklyn College?
Yeah, no, for sure. The main reason why we called ourselves the International Salsa Museum is one, because of the fact that it's so global. But if it wasn't for the rhythms of Africa, those percussive rhythms from Africa that made their way through the Atlantic and through the Atlantic slave trade, made its way to the Caribbean, and then from there cultivated itself and grew and was molded, and every country, every island added its own little spice, whether it's mambo, son montuno, guaracha, um, just all cha cha cha, guaguancó. Every country added their flavor, right? And then from there, it came all the way to New York City. And in New York is where the boom happened, in East
Mm.
Harlem, in Spanish Harlem,
I,
and in the
I,
Bronx. And so, you know, we have to go back to the roots of Africa. We have to go back to the clave. That's the heartbeat of salsa music, the clave. If you're a musician and you get off the clave, you're throwing off the entire band. But then again, that goes to show that these two little wooden sticks, came from Africa and was used to, I need to do more research on the history of the clave. But again, those roots came from Africa. And so we need to share that story with our kids as well. And they need to know this. That is not just Mark Anthony and Cardi B with I Like It Like That on the record, right? Because Cardi B, that's a
yes,
sample.
yes.
And shout outs to Cardi B and the producer who created that record. But it's beyond that. And the kids need to know the roots. Not only the kids, I'm talking about everybody needs to know this history.
Yes, Willie. Okay, so you chose Brooklyn College to get your
Yes.
bachelor's.
Yes, I
And
did.
so, and we went the same exact years, no verdad?
Yes. Yes, we
And
did.
we saw each other on campus. And I'm talking about like this is years ago. Oh my God.
I remember seeing you on campus, but to be honest with you, we never interacted with each other. Because the
No,
thing is that our schedules, we never took the same class either.
which is weird because I thought that I would see you maybe in like a Puerto Rican and Latino studies. But what
Which I
was,
took that class. I took that class with Professor Nadal.
yeah, intro to Puerto Rican music.
Yes.
Did you see me and my girls walking around campus? Like,
I just saw you multiple times by yourself rushing to class.
that sounds like me. Yes.
Yes.
I was
Yes, I do.
I'm always late everywhere, including in college to class.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would see you walking by and, we wouldn't even say hi to each other because we didn't know each other, but I would see you walking by. And then when I saw you on the Brooklyn College put you in a magazine, on the Brooklyn College magazine,
Aw.
and then I saw Latinos Out Loud and I'm like, wow, Brooklyn College, man.
Thank
If only we would have
you.
connected in Brooklyn College, the magic that we would have done up in that radio station. I'm just saying, WBCR, 1090 AM.
I love WBCR because a lot of my business classes were in Whitehead Hall. So like I always saw the
Same
radio
here.
heads and I always heard the radio station, especially when I was outside smoking my occasional cigarette during finals week, or like midterms. And yeah, but then again, let me tell you what I think Rachel on Brooklyn College campus
please
was
tell me.
like.
Yes, because again, we weren't passing, so I didn't really know you like that. But tell me.
That's the thing.
Who was Rachel?
I knew who you were because let's be real. There weren't very many of us on campus.
No,
like the Latinos kind of like, it was like, like you see, you good, you know what I mean? Like that, like I got your back. You want some gum? Keep it moving,
Yeah.
That's
yep.
So, but like let me just put it to you this way. The reason why I was always rushing is because like usually after I would say sophomore year was when I quit my job as a bank teller and I got a job at a magazine in the city. So I would go to school at half a day, then I would go to the city, work half a day, and then come back to Brooklyn College and take a night class because I needed to graduate on time and I started to work already. So that was usually, and then I took summer classes, same thing, go to school, go to work, come back home, or try to sandwich it, get 2 classes in per day just to get those 6 credits, just to graduate on time. It's hard being a commuter, going to a commuter school and to get it all done in 4 years. It's not like you're away at a campus and all you do is eat, sleep, and breathe school. You know what I'm saying? I worked, not full time, but pretty much like just a lot of hours to gain that experience, thinking that I was going to be a marketer at a magazine or, whatever it is I went to. Well, then again, I was for a while, and I don't know. This is not about me. Okay, look, I'm still doing.
I know. Listen, I get it. Look, when I was in Brooklyn College, I had a job too. I was working my junior year. I had a full-time job at ABC Radio.
So what other Latino studies classes did you take at Brooklyn College?
I just took the Puerto Rican one.
The music. Of course you took music.
I just took the music one. My major was television and radio with a minor in marketing.
Wow, look at that.
So I never majored in music at all. I was offered a half scholarship to Juilliard and I didn't take it because back then, when I graduated from LaGuardia High School, I said to myself, well, I need a plan B just in case the music doesn't work out.
We all need a plan B from time to time, honey. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. So if I'm going to choose a plan B, let it be a plan B that I'm going to enjoy. And so when I entered Brooklyn College, I majored in television and radio with the hopes that later on in the future, AKA now, I'm going to be able to mix television and radio and marketing with music. And here we are with the Salsa Museum.
Oh, I love it so much. Okay, I kind of want to dial back now since we're talking about college. You graduated, boom, cap and gown, tossed the tassel, boom. By the way, we must have both been at the same ceremony too. It was
I graduated after you. Yeah, it took me a while to graduate.
But see, that's what I mean. Like it's hard to do it in 4 years when you're working. It's quite impossible. But after you graduated, what did you do? What was your career? Give us that like journey from college to now being able to open up a salsa museum. What was your career like?
Okay. When I talk about my career to people, they're like, huh? What? How did you do that? How did you, what? It's confusing to people, but I know my story and I'm sticking to it because it's my story. No, well, here's what happened right after college. At the time I was, like I said, junior year, I had gotten a job at ABC Radio. Thank you very much, ABC, Disney. I truly enjoyed my time there. And I love the fact that while I was at ABC, they understood that I was a musician at the same time, that music was my passion. So at that time, I had just became, actually right after, I'll say when I was 19 years old, I became the musical director for Tito Puente Jr., all while working at ABC Radio. That's why you see Tito Puente right here.
Look at that beautiful, is that a poster? Is that a photograph?
This is a banner. This is a banner that I have. And that's Tito Puente from 1942. I believe he was...
Pull up. banner. Oh my
Yep,
gosh.
it's about 6 feet, but that's Tito Puente when he was in the Navy playing the saxophone from 1942. And then on the bottom over here is him older playing timbales. But this is my connection to Tito Puente. At 19, I became the musical director. I was still in college and working ABC radio at the same time. And also I was with another band called La Excelencia. And with La Excelencia, that's the band that I was able to travel with all over the world while still in college and working a full-time job at ABC.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I used to take for our finals, like when we were studying for finals or for midterms. I remember one year I was flying to Istanbul to do the Salsa Congress in Istanbul, and I was studying for my midterms on the plane. So that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing, right? I was traveling the world at Brooklyn College still and working at ABC Radio. But then I finally graduated from Brooklyn College, and I was able to dedicate more time to music and to Tito Puente Jr. as well. So we were doing a lot more gigs with Tito Puente Jr. here in the Northeast of the United States. Because I say musical director, but I'm the musical director in the Northeast. He has another musical director down in Miami.
Okay.
Great person. His name is Marlo Rosado. So yeah, working with Tito, working with Excelencia, and still keeping my day job because the music. As a musician, it's very tough to live off just music unless you are working with a big name artist like Mark Anthony or let's say even on the Latin market, Adele or whoever. So because I didn't have that income coming in as a musician in my 20s, I went from media jobs to media jobs. So from ABC, I went to NBC, and I worked at NBC for about 4 years. And then from NBC, I worked at WWE.
Wait, the wrestling? WWE? Like, I'm gonna get you, brother. Like
yeah,
that?
yeah. Vince McMahon was my boss. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yes. And so you ask yourself, and this is where it gets confusing because it's like, okay, he did television, but where's the music? How did I, gain all this notoriety within the music? It never stopped for me. Music is my passion. Music is what feeds my soul. I do my 9 to 5, but from 6 p.m. to 3 in the morning, I'm doing music.
Yeah, baby.
Like nonstop. And so, I mean, not nonstop. I have to stop and eat,
Right, but you can also be singing while you're eating or humming.
Yes.
So that's, that's acceptable. And that's how you feed your soul.
Yes, exactly. And again, I'm talking about salsa music, but in this time frame, from working at ABC and WWE and NBC, I wasn't just working on salsa. I was doing pop music. I was doing hip hop, rock and roll. I was doing commercials. Through that journey, I was discovered by A&E Networks. So I produced music for A&E Networks as well, and for the History Channel and for Lifetime. It just so happens that within the salsa world, because I traveled so much with La Excelencia and working with Tito Puente Jr. and his family, along with other salsa artists and other salsa musicians, I've been able to just grow my network. You know how they say that saying your network is your net worth?
Yes.
Well, I've been building my network since I was young, and here we are,
a teenager,
building the International Salsa Museum with the same people and some additional ones, but it's normally the same people that I grew up with in the industry.
I love that. That's really incredible. Willie, I have a very probably boring to you question, but
no, it's not boring. Dime.
Okay, I would love for you to explain what a musical director does. What is that job? Tell me and the LOLeros, what does that entail?
Okay. So from my perspective, right, a musical director, what I do on a daily, whether it's with Tito Puente Jr. or with La Excelencia or with any other person that contacts me, is the musical director is the person, not only just the musical director, but I'm the musical director and the pianist /pianist. So let's say with Tito, for instance, he has a concert. He calls me, hey, Willie, I have this gig. Here's the budget. I have to contact all the musicians. I have to, from time to time, whether it's Tito Puente Jr., well, not so much Tito Puente Jr., but with other bands, I have to rehearse, set up all the rehearsals, make sure that everybody's on point, make sure that everybody has all the music that they need. They have to come and rehearse. They have to come prepared. I have to run the rehearsals, kind of like managing the band. I have to manage the band so that all the artist has to do is show up and play. And I take care of the rest. That's just on the band preparation side. But then here comes the day of the show. The day of the show, I'm talking to the sound guy. I'm talking to the promoters. I'm creating the set list for the musicians and for the actual show, what song is gonna go where. And at the same time, I'm taking care of just all the admin stuff that has to happen for this gig to go well, making sure that we get paid, constant emails back and forth with the sound engineers, making sure that they have all the equipment that we need for the performance. It's a lot of layers, but you get to this level once you have to start from the bottom and kind of like build it and learn it. And you can't just get into it. You have to know what you're doing.
Interesting. And also it sounds like a lot of coordination, also having a robust network to tap into and be like, I need this, I need that, what you're doing, where you at.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
And on top of that, that's just the admin style, the admin situation. But then when you're on stage, so the musical director, what I'm doing is on stage is I'm cueing the band. I'm telling the band when to come in, when to get out, who's playing the solo, how long the song's gonna be. I'm planning as I'm on stage playing the piano and playing salsa. Or salsa or any type of music, I am 10 steps ahead because I start the song, but then we have to finish the song. And in my mind, I have to worry about all the in-betweens and make sure that we end on time.
I have a really weird follow-up question. Okay.
Dímelo.
This is weird. Raro. Weird.
Dímelo.
This is an audible medium, but because I was a band geek, I would love for you to explain, because as musical director, I see you on stage. There's a lot of this, and there's a lot of this, and there's a lot of, it's like baseball, right? There's a lot of baseball.
Yes.
Okay. Could you, Willy Rodríguez, musical director of very many salseros and acts that we know, teach us the this or the hand movements? What do each of them mean? And how can we be like aspiring musical directors right now? Teach us the hand gestures, all of that.
Okay, so here are the hand gestures that I use on stage to let the band know what part of the music is gonna come in and when they're gonna get out. And it does look like you're playing baseball. You ready?
Can't wait for this.
Every musical director has their own way of directing, but this is how I do it. Okay. So clearly we count in the music. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Band starts. Okay. Then the lyricist is doing his thing. The vocalist is doing its thing. They're going. All right. Now I'm gonna cue in this. This is what I call the mambo, which is a section within the music. So I wish I had music around me so I can show you.
And those of you not watching the YouTube video, because some of y'all watching YouTube, you could see this. We're doing like the Rat Pack. What is this? The werewolf thing? Like
the rock and roll, heavy metal.
Rock and roll, or like the I love you, right? Isn't this I love you in sign language or something?
I think so.
Okay, so it's like the rock on dude with the 2 fingers up, with the pinky and the pointer finger up. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, this is my cue for mambo. Other musical directors would just give a 1. So you'll see musicians, they'll just go 1 and they'll count in. But I like the musicians to know what part of what section they need to come in on. Because in Tito Puente music, there's mambo 1, there's mambo 2, there's moña 1, 2, and 3. So this is the mambo. So when they're reading the music, they say, all right, Willie's counting mambo 1, right? So they look at the music and then I go, okay, guys, 1. This is when you see the, so what this means is that you have 4 bars to come in to that mambo, the mambo section.
I would love to come into 4 bars. Oh, we're talking music. Okay, wait, sorry.
So 4 musical bars before the mambo section comes in. Like, so you have to count 4 bars. And that's it. I counted in and 1. Now they know. Now this right here, when I do this is called the moña. Moña normally belongs in the back. You know, moño.
Yeah,
You know, when you have a moño, it's in the back.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna do all this. But in salsa music, there's a moña, right? So I do this. So it's moña 1 or moña 2 or moña 3. It all depends on where we are in the music. So I'll be like moña 1. They gotta count 4 bars for the moña.
Wow.
So that's
okay.
you know mambo, moña. Then there's this where I touch my ear.
This is so baseball. This is like the runners on second. I don't know, you know, like he's gonna go steal a base. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so pulling of the ear is what?
When I'm telling the musicians, either the trombone players or the horn section, to make up something. Say, make it up, play it by ear, make it up. So we're improvising.
That's a lot of pressure for the trombone player, Willie. Or maybe
it's
not.
It's okay.
They love that shit. Do they love that shit?
They love it. They love it. They love it.
Okay.
At least I think they love it. But I always, as a musical director, I always give the horn players time to come up with a moña on the spot. Okay. So I say this, and I'm looking at them, and I wait for them to give me the cue saying, okay, we're ready. Once they're ready, I say 1. And now they got 4 bars before coming in with that moña that they just created.
Okay, and that's where the trombone goes, wah, 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 wah,
yep.
wah, like go crazy.
It's doing its thing.
Crowd just
doing its thing.
The cues and the twirls and the twists.
Yep, okay. The moñas where the party's trombone. At. Then there's also you know, I do this. That means trombone solo.
This looks like go eat your spaghetti. What are you doing over there?
Hey, man, hey, yeah. So, but this is actually the trombone, right? Because the trombone plays like this. So okay. I go like this, and I mean, that's a trombone solo. I'll do this. I'll do this. This is a trumpet solo. This is how I direct. Everybody has a different way of doing it. This is how I say trumpet solo. I'll do this sometimes.
Flute solo.
Yeah, flute solo. Exactly. Okay. And then I'll do this.
Rachel La Loca solo.
Close. That means for the singer to come in. Now I'm cueing the singer, so I'll do this, talk or sing.
Okay, so what Willie's doing, for those of you not on YouTube, is like the blah, blah, blah with your hand, the quack, quack thing. If you're making a shadow on the wall, you're trying to do a duck. So
exactly.
That's usually a signal for me to stop talking. You're talking too much, but I like your signal better. Oh my God.
Well, this is
for showing us.
This is the last part, the coda. That's it, the ending. Okay. So this is the ending.
Okay.
That's it. So ending of the song, 1. I go ending and 1. And they got to count 4 bars.
For those of you on YouTube, that's like the umpire strike. A strike, you know, like, so that means the end. Okay.
The end, yes. And that's it. There's a lesson. I know.
Thank you. I feel more like in the know now watching live salsa music. Now I know kind of the communication between the musicians and the musical director.
You're welcome.
I have one last question. We need to talk about this program, program for children in the Bronx. Yes. Please tell everybody about this amazing musical program available to those of us here in New York City. Dale.
Well, yes. Okay. So, you know, as I said before, to keep this music alive, we need to create music. And the only way we're going to create music is by teaching the youth how to play the instruments that, you know, the instruments that make up salsa: piano, trombone, trumpet, timbales, claves, guiro, all that stuff. So we are teaming up. We are working with the NYPD and the Options Program on establishing, along with the Ron Carter Foundation, on establishing a music program at the Renaissance Youth Center in the Bronx, which is at 3485 3rd Avenue. That's going to be, that program has not kicked off yet. We're still figuring out how we're going to roll out this program, but we're aiming to have this program start in February of 2023.
Yes.
Again, it's going to be at the Renaissance Youth Center. And again, the music program is going to be taught not by, and I'm not knocking people from Berkeley or knocking people from Juilliard, but it's going to be taught by actual salseros that are in the industry right now, that are touring the world, that are creating major impact out in the world through their playing skills. Now they're going to be able to come into the South Bronx and teach our kids and teach the youth how to play and inspire them and empower them to also do the same thing and learn about culture and travel all over the world as well.
Amazing. What is the age range for this program? How young can the kids be? How old can they be?
Well, right now we're thinking about between 8 to teen. So from 8 to like about 16 years old. Actually 8 to 17. And then from 18 on, we'll consider you an adult at that point, from 18 on, even though you're not an adult. But from 18 on, you can take classes with the adults. And so we're looking not only for the kids, but we're also going to have a separate program for adults from 18 para arriba.
Willie, I gotta confess something on this podcast, which I often do. Okay. This is a little emotional, but let me just tell you.
No me haga llorar. Mira, I'm getting all teary-eyed already.
Okay. And I'm not going to make myself cry. LOLeros and Willie and anybody else listening right now, a long time ago when I had this dream of becoming a mom, somebody sent me this video of a little Puerto Rican boy who was learning how to play the conga. And he must have been like 4 or 5 years old. And he was with somebody, I think his name was Babatunde. Somebody, he's, I guess, a teacher in Spanish Harlem of the conga. And I think he was related to this little boy. And it was a video that went kind of viral. So it showed up in my, it got to me. And at the time I was trying to be a mom and I was miscarrying a bunch of babies and it wasn't looking good for me. But I watched this video and I said to myself, yo, if God should bless me with a child, I definitely want this child to learn the music of his people, of Puerto Rico, where his dad is from, and of the Dominican Republic, from where my mom is from. And I always wanted like a little boy or a little girl just to see them learn how to play an instrument that's culturally tied to us and our family and our ancestors.
Wow.
And I always prayed so hard for a little boy just like that, or a little girl to like be playing conga. The universe heard my prayers. I now have 2 little boys, and I would do anything to get my oldest Donovan into this program. I want him in this program so badly. I'll do whatever I need to do because it's hard to find a program like this for a child that young.
There isn't any. There are some out there, but it's very rare. Very rare.
It's hard to find.
Especially for Latin music. It's very rare. And that's the sad part. But go ahead, Rachel.
That's really it.
Beautiful.
It's just that I always had that very specific vision, like just seeing that little boy, 4 or 5 years old, on the conga playing. I mean, he was nasty. He was doing all this and the elbow and this and the elbow and then the elbow, and I'm like, like I want a little child of mine. Like I just had this vision of myself being in an audience of a performance like of that video that I saw on YouTube, and being so proud of my child, because that's not like a band performance in school where an instrument is, not forced. I mean, the clarinet was forced upon me, true talk. I wanted to play the trumpet, and the homeboy, my teacher, was like, nah, you got braces, so it's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He had a point.
Whatever, y'all. I really wanted to play the trumpet, son. I didn't want to play the clarinet.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. It's not too late. But anyway, that's it. I don't want to go on too long.
No, but
I want to be a part of this.
Yes, I will let you know. I will let you know about the program. And please follow us on social media.
Yeah. Tell them how they can find out more information and stay tuned to all the stuff you're talking about.
Yes, please follow us on social media. We're on Instagram at INTL, which is international but abbreviated. So INTL Salsa Museum. You can find us on Facebook, International Salsa Museum, and our website is internationalsalsamuseum.org. And yeah, you can find out all the information there. And we're all approachable. You can talk to us. We respond. If you hit us up on Instagram, if you hit us up on Facebook, we'll respond as well. But I just want to touch up on a few things that I want to mention about the museum and how we plan to differentiate ourselves from other museums that are out there. This is what we're looking to build, not only for the South Bronx, not only for New York City, but for the entire world. Okay. Yes. And this is, I want people to know this information because this is how our kings and queens of salsa, how their legacy is going to live on forever, along with the up and coming artists that are coming on as well, and those that we are going to teach in the future. Yes. With this International Salsa Museum, we are planning to have various programs. And not only are you going to learn about the history of salsa music and all the great musicians and producers and engineers and promoters, it's not just about the big name artists, but we also need to talk about those that really were behind the scenes and made this music what it is now. That's one thing. But then again, like I spoke about before, we're going to have the music program and the dance program. But on top of that, we're also going to have a podcasting program.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have a podcasting program. We're looking to have a financial literacy program to serve the community. And then we're also planning on having a business program as well, so that kids and young adults can learn how to start their own record labels.
Ooh.
And not only are we going to teach you that, but we're also going to teach you all the ins and outs on how to promote your music, how to brand yourself. We're going to have a state-of-the-art recording studio in there. So you're going to learn from the best of the best, and we're going to give you everything you need to become a successful artist. I'm not going to say salsa artist because you might decide to not do salsa and do something else. But we're going to teach you the foundation of salsa. We're going to teach you everything you need to know on how to start a record label and how to market yourself. And on the dancing side, we're going to teach you the bomba and plena and how to dance on two and all the great Latin art forms of music. It's not just going to be salsa. It's going to be other formats as well.
Okay, Willie, we could talk forever, but we got to wrap. We got to wrap. Yo, I want to shout you out for everything you're doing, for preserving our cultura. You're a historian. You're a lot, but like you're actually a historian at this point, you know?
Well, I won't consider myself a historian because I still have a lot to learn. I'll leave that to the actual historians themselves, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm having so much fun learning about the history. I'm having so much fun, and I'm a sponge right now. I'm like a little kid learning about the backstories of Celia and Tito and Hector Lavoe and what happened back in that concert in Colombia. Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, wait a minute. We got to talk again soon. I wonder how we can like bring you back to the Latinos Out Loud podcast, because I want to hear those salsa stories. That sounds incredible. And that's
I'm having
something
a great time.
Like, this is also the forum as well, the Latinos Out Loud podcast. We move our people forward. And in order to do that, sometimes we got to teach a little history. In order to help y'all move forward, I want to move forward. How can we move forward without knowing all about our past? So, there's got to be a way to bring Willie back on the show. We'll talk about this offline. But right now, I just want to say congratulations to you and, give you huge kudos. Te doy mucho flores también, because you're doing something for our people that is huge. It's huge. It's earth shattering. You're only one person. You're only working with two other. I know there's a lot of people involved, but as far as.
We have an advisory board.
Shout out to everybody who's supporting you on this. We support you. And please come back to Latinos Out Loud. One more time for Willy Rodríguez, people.
Thank you very much.
And I got all the this and the this and the this and all the signs. Oh my God. I'm
glad you learned something.
I want to go lead a fake band right now in the mirror. I do a lot of fake stuff in the mirror. Go.
What you're going to do now after this interview is you're going to put on La India. And you're going to do all this. That's what you're going to do. Mambo, moña. That's what you're going to do.
Wow. You're a good teacher, by the way. For me to have absorbed all of that and remember it, you're a good teacher. I'm just
you're welcome.
I like your method. Yo, shout out to you. Thank you so much. And shout out to Zylene for making this happen. Willy Rodríguez.
Thank you. Nos vemos. Peace.
Yes. Is everybody not dancing salsa right now? Yes. I love dancing salsa. Yo, I may not be the best at it, pero a mí no me importa because there's nothing like that ritmo, that rhythm. I mean, any Latin music, really. Bachata, merengue. I'm just saying, we have such amazing music at our fingertips, don't we, Latinos? Such a catalog too. Shout out to Willie for that incredible, incredible interview. Aren't you so excited for this International Salsa Museum? I can almost envision it and what an experience it's going to be. And shout out to the programs that are being built for our youth. Oh, yeah, I hope I get Donovan into this program. It just sounds like something that will be so fun. Anyway, you guys, thanks for checking out this episode with Willie. Please stay tuned to the International Salsa Museum. There's a lot of press around about it. If you want to read some articles, go ahead and Google it. And thanks for rocking out with me, Jamie and Frank. I miss you. I love you. I love you, Jamie, Frank. Frank, Jamie, I love you. I miss you. I don't know what this is. My ode to Jamie and Frank, I guess. But hey, it's Latinos Out Loud. We did this together. We sure did. I needed you guys. I needed you for this. So thanks for being there and listening to the whole episode. Share with friends. You know you have some salsa fan friends, okay? So go ahead and copy the link and paste it in a text and send it to them. Or you could just send them to our Instagram page, We Are Latinos Out Loud, or my page at Rachel La Loca. You'll find us anywhere you can find a podcast. But yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you so much for the support. I love you. I love you. LOLeros. On that note, I'm out.